First, Vladimir Putin went to Alaska.
And then Volodymyr Zelenskyy went to the White House, flanked by European allies.
But now the diplomatic dust has settled. How much has actually changed since those summits?
And is peace really any closer?
Mr. Putin, will you agree to a ceasefire? Mr. Putin, will you commit to not killing any more civilians?
The big thing that came out of Alaska was an apparent breakthrough on this issue of future security guarantees for Ukraine. US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff claimed that Moscow had given the green light to a NATO-style mutual defence mandate.
That was music to Europe's ears, where many countries have been scrambling to boost their militaries as a direct result of Russian aggression, and arms companies like this one have been ramping up production.
It's going to be fantastic, actually.
Cue relief in Washington when America said it would back them up.
They are first line of defense because they're there. They're Europe. But we're going to help them out also. We'll be involved.
But it's still not clear what those security guarantees will look like. Will there be European boots on the ground? If so, whose boots and how many? Mr. Pistorius, what security guarantees is Germany actually putting on the table to help Ukraine?
We can do, of course, we consider every contribution we might be able and willing to deliver, to provide for security guarantees for Ukraine, but we don't discuss that now publicly. Obviously, Germany is the biggest supporter of Ukraine after the US, and our role will become even more important in the months and years to come.
The first layer for Ukraine to defend itself will be the Ukrainian armed forces. That is the base, that is the first layer that will be extremely important. NATO is involved there, many NATO allies are involved there, building Ukrainian armed forces going forward after a long-term ceasefire / hopefully even better a peace deal.
More importantly, it increasingly sounds like Russia hasn't actually agreed to this plan after all, because over the last week, Moscow has repeatedly made it clear it has problems with it, especially if it involves European troops.
Все замыслы связаны, по сути дела, с предоставлением гарантий путем интервенции, иностранной интервенции военной на какую-то часть украинской территории. Но надеюсь, что они понимают, что это будет абсолютно неприемлемо для Российской Федерации.
And that's not all. The only security guarantee Moscow says it'll accept is one it's involved in, where Ukraine's invader becomes its protector and guarantor.
Чи заради української безпеки, нашого суверенітету, нашої територіальної цілісності. Бо агресор – Росія. Коли Росія підіймає питання щодо гарантій безпеки, я, чесно кажучи, поки що не знаю, хто їм загрожує. Вони на нас напали, і вони на нашій стороні. І я не зовсім розумію, які гарантії потрібні агресору.
Що всерйоз обсуждати вопросы обеспечения безопасности без Российской Федерации – это утопия, это путь в никуда.
So what about this meeting between Zelenskyy and Putin? Well, that doesn't seem any closer either. Last week, Donald Trump said the two sides were setting it up.
But that's not how it sounds here in Moscow, where the Kremlin's been repeating its usual line that these things can't be rushed.
Putin is ready to meet with Zelenskyy when the agenda would be ready for a summit. And this agenda is not ready at all. How can we meet with a person who is pretending to be a leader?
The issue here is that the Kremlin doesn't view Zelenskyy as a legitimate leader, and it's hinted that he'd need to be re-elected before there's any meeting and before any peace deal can be signed.
While few in Europe believe Russia is serious about peace.
So despite that flurry of diplomatic activity, it's pretty clear that fundamental stumbling blocks remain.
There's still no agreement on security guarantees, still no plans for a leaders' meeting, and the war rages on.